And I'm back with more Apollo Justice. My plan today with the recordings is to beat this game. So, let's see if I can pull it off. Still in the Mason system. And main thing is just getting through this bit. See how long this part takes. Because I'm hoping 2 videos. I figured you'd come here sooner or later. I decided on sooner. Drew Misham, was it? I haven't done anything illegal. And I didn't come here to whine about past events. I wanted to ask you some questions. I suppose you have that right. That day the court stood still in chaos. Only you stood still, your eyes calmly watching. I admit, made quite an impression on me. I'm used to finding myself in outrageous situations. Phoenix Wright, was it? I'll answer what I can. I'm not sure, but feels like I'm being watched intensely. Huh? Oh, this is my daughter. Vera, say hello. She's gone. Shall we begin, then? Judging from this place, you're a painter? Not sadly a profitable one. I've never sold a painting. It's a source of considerable embarrassment. I would be able to get by if it were only me. Your daughter? Her mother grew weary of me and left. I don't want her to grow up needy, Mr. Wright. That is why I began my other occupation. Forgeries. Don't look at me with those eyes. I know what it is that I do. More than half of the paintings they bring me are stolen. And who knows what my copies are used for. But some of your works aren't paintings, correct? You may not believe me when I tell you this, but this was my first work outside of painting. What? To think it would be used as evidence in a murder trial. I've never even imagined the possibility. And why did you take the job? I was well paid. Very well paid. I think he feels worse about it than I do. The past is hard to escape. Honestly, the sooner I can put this behind me, the better. With apologies to you, of course. Sorry, but it's not going to be that quite so easy. He's trying to forget what he made. Looks like I'll have to remind him. Your work. Don't try to pretend you've forgotten. Sure. All you did was make a copy. But that copy might have destroyed the life of an innocent man. I'm responsible too, which is why I have to know. And you have to tell me. I knew it would be difficult to escape this. Then let's talk. Well then, ready to tell me about this work you did? It was unlike anything I'd attempted before. Guess it would be a little different from paintings. That's not what I mean. In all my previous work, it sufficed to create a copy. This wasn't a copy. The client gave me 2 things that day. The first was a sample page as reference. The second, a printed document I can only surmise was written by my client. So use the real writing as a reference to reproduce what the client wrote. Yes, as I said, it was my first job of that nature. So, who was your client? As I said in court, I don't know. Really? Even for such a suspicious request? If it wasn't me, if it was me, I'd want to know as much as I could about the requester. I never met them. Not personally, Ugh. A Cyclops, of course. Seems you're still hiding something. Something about this work. Let's hear it then. What are you hiding from me, Mr. Misham? I'm sorry, but I really don't know. I never met the client. True, when I asked the client's name, there were no Cyclops. Regardless, you're hiding something. You have to be. Otherwise, it wouldn't make any sense. Why are you doing this to me? Well, I've made my stand. No backing down now. So what's he hiding? I can pretty much piece together what it is that from what you said. What is it then? You told me you knew what you knew about the client, and I couldn't see any Cyclops. What are those? Is that some kind of asylum security? A new hairstyle? But then they did show up, didn't they? Not personally. Those words triggered the Cyclops. Again with this Psycho-Lock business. Not that I really must know what they are. So you didn't meet with the client. But someone else did. Maybe the real forger behind the evidence? Perhaps I'm hung up on this lock business. I'm afraid you've lost me. Yeah, well, I didn't come here to talk about Cyclops. As long as I come to the right conclusion, it doesn't matter how I get there. And your conclusion is? The real forger behind it wasn't you. Poppycock! I don't know what you're talking about. That's my work, I'll tell you. Made here in my studio. Who else could it have been but me? That's the real question, isn't it? If the forger wasn't you, then I don't have many people to choose from. The real forger is your daughter.
Take that!
It's Vera, isn't it? Ridiculous. My daughter's only 12 years old. I've always been more one for landscapes, not surrealism. Nice comeback. But you're shaking in your boots. I've got you now. The only two people with access to the studio are you and your daughter. The Cyclops tell me you're not the forger, which makes your daughter the only possibility. I feel very much on the verge of going psycho-lock myself! I don't know how you knew, but you're right. The one who made this page was my daughter, Vera, not I. She's only 12. A genius, you might call her. A precocious little girl outshining her father. There's been a lot of that going around recently. I let her play in the studio and she watched me. She taught herself in that way. The drafting tools and analytical devices I bought when they became necessary. They're my little girl's playthings now. Do I detect a bit of fatherly pride? So Vera was the one who made this page? Would she know who the client was then? Actually, the client came once. Here, to the studio. What? Why didn't you say so sooner? But their face was covered, and they did not want to talk to me. So they talked to your daughter? I will speak only to the artist, the client told me. Then that little girl is the key to our mystery client's true identity. Okay, what do I do now? Maybe I should talk to her father a bit more. Or is it time to turn my attention to Vera? Let me guess. You'd like to be able to speak with my daughter. Can I? My daughter has never been one to talk to strangers. She's quite shy. Extremely so, actually. With only one exception. Which was, oddly enough, it was that client. I left the studio while they talked. I returned when they had finished, and she was laughing. It's the first time I've seen anything of the sort. Please, let me speak to her. All right. Uh-oh. Yeah, this could be tough. Vera, was it? Would you like to have a friendly chat? I'm Phoenix Wright, ex-lawyer and pianist. Still looking for the keys that say... Oh, I can't find them anywhere. I'm not good at this. I need something to get through to her. No. Desk. Okay. No, I was just checking out the door. I think I'm far from stubborn to take hits. Desk. Maybe I'll just sidle on over for a look. It's an awfully small frame. What's that inside it? A stamp? No, please don't touch that. I'll get in trouble. The stamp belongs to Vera, you see. She always puts it somewhere so you can see it. Zack and Valant. The Grammarys, wasn't it? The post office issued that commemorative stamp last year. When the Grammarys were at the height of their popularity. Not anymore. Now that one of them's vanished off the face of the earth. Vera went to see one of their shows when she was quite small. She's been a dedicated fan ever since. She watched them every time they came on TV, until the end. I see. Stamp's hard to come by, I hear. I still wonder how she got her hands on it. There's this. My stamp. Oh, she spoke. She can talk. Yeah, so this... How can I keep her talking? Isn't True Grammarly amazing? Huh? Yes? Oh! I especially like Zack and Valant. I mean, they're just so magical. Aren't they? Aren't they? Whenever I go to one of their shows, I'm like... Whoa, magic, you know? Me too! I love them, they're so cool! Alright, she's talking. Not saying much, but it's a start. I went and saw them with Father the other day. The opening ceremony of the Grammarly Museum of Magic. The museum? They have one of those? I guess it makes sense now they have their own commemorative stamp. Have you been to one of their shows? Just once when I was little, with Father. Grammarly's on stage. Grammarly's on stage was like a dream. Disappearing, reappearing, cutting apart, putting back together, they do it all. Maybe you can keep telling me stuff. Oh, sure. Better get asking before she changes her mind. I don't go outside much. I like to paint in here. Why don't you like the outside? There's bad people. Well, but there are lots of good people, too. Actually, I should tell you. She was almost kidnapped once. Kidnapped? Since then, she's been, well, see for yourself. She refuses to leave the house. I see. That doesn't make sense. She said she went to the museum. With you. Well, actually, she was quite insistent on it, much to my surprise. It was the first and last time she expressed such a desire to me. That person gave me a good luck charm. Good luck charm? For when I absolutely had to go outside. Apparently, she received something. A gift. From the client, actually. She won't tell me what it was. Father, I told you to keep that a secret! From the client, huh? This I gotta hear about. So you met the person that asked you to do this? And you talked with them? What's this about a good luck charm? I can't talk about it. If I do, it won't work anymore. That's what I was told. I really have to know. Uh-oh. Right. So your father tells me you're good at painting all sorts of things. I really like painting a lot. Father's always very happy when I paint them exactly the same. So you did this too? Oh yeah! Well, that's my first job! Your first? What I used to do was paint the same thing I saw. But this was totally different. Pen slips in the way the writer held the pen. And the pressure on the nib. I had to use a microscope and analyze it on the computer. She seems happy. Odd. Her work was the last nail in the Gramarye coffin. I guess no one told her. They're the best in the world. Oh, you mean Troop Gramarye? Of course. Father gave it to me. Your father? But I asked him about it. You didn't know how you got it. Oh, I guess I just took it. Father got a letter from that person. That person? You mean a letter from the client? Oh, we talked about the Gramarys forever that day. I'm sure that's why I was sent the stamp. I didn't want to just send it back, so I took it. You're a sneaky one, this client. So they're trying to get on her good side. You seem to trust this client quite a lot, in fact. Because they gave you the stamp? No, that's not why. They listen to me, to my problems. The problem? Keeps her inside all this time? Don't go outside if you don't want to. That's what they told me. But when I absolutely have to go out, all I had to do was use a good luck charm. Good luck charm? Your client gave to you? I think I know what your client might have given you, actually. Is this your good luck charm? Take that! This is what they gave you, wasn't it? Oh! Same bottle's over there on your desk. Your good luck charm, right? I heard once. Cosmetics were once thought to ward off evil. This is a magic bottle. It has the power. Of course it does. I'll just refrain from commenting on that one. I think I know why who gave you that bottle. The one who asked you to do this job. Was this the client? Take that! This man is a friend of mine. You do know him? His name is Christoph Gavin. He's a lawyer, actually. I promised. I promised not to tell. Uh-oh. can't talk about the client. I promised. And if I break my promise, the spell won't work. I don't need a name anymore. I got my answer. Pretty confident in this charm, then. I think they might be the devil. What? Or maybe an angel. What do you mean? I saw it. Or I think I saw it when they gave me this. I saw the devil's face. Are you saying the client's face looked like the devil's? No, the client was gentle. With a gentle smile. So where'd you see this devil? It was so quick, I don't remember well. But that's when I knew that person wasn't like other people. That's why I believe in my good luck charm. I'm not sure what this devil she saw was. It's pretty clear that Christoph Gavin has her charmed. Well, I think that's all. I'll be leaving now. I'm sorry for what happened. If you want to apologize, try my client, Zach Gramarye. Did I do something bad? What makes you think that? Your eyes, they're sad. Very sad. I'll put on my smile next time I come, promise. I hope to see you smile then too, Vera. Oh, okay. Take care. Thinking back on my first encounter with the young forger, I witnessed something of vital importance that day. Of course, by the time I realized it, it was already too late. Alright, I still think I can do this bit. Yeah, still got time for this bit, I think. Yeah, I got time. I don't know how long this is going to take, though. Because I want to try to do, like, 2 an episode and get through that. Okay. What strange sight doth mine eyes behold? Excuse me? 2 men on either side of a single transparent pane. Yet it seems fickle fate has switched sides, so to speak. The forger of fakes walks freely, while the innocent languishes within these plexiglass confines. There's been no proof I forged anything, nor proof that I took the life of my dear mentor. Yet, these chains cannot hold me for long. The stage awaits, and what, may I ask, awaits you? A little piano and a cold little hole in the wall. But since you are here, what shall we discuss? The shooting of Magnifi Gramarye, for one. Who pulled that trigger? Valent or his partner, Zach? His partner vanished before the answer could be found. And if I'm gonna get any closer to the truth, this is a place to start. I have to hand it to my partner. He knows how to make an exit. Exit, that's talent. He made my attorney's badge disappear, and he never even touched it. Glory's spotlight always leaves someone weeping in the shadows. Yet his very disappearance is itself a revelation. Revealing what? Zach Gramarye killed Magnifi. It's as good as a signed confession. That's certainly been public opinion's take on it. I grow tired of my cage, and the time of my release is near. I must go and prepare. Planning on jumping back into magic right away? As long as an audience awaits with bated breath, there will be Valent, and also... Now that my partner has disappeared, Magnifi's repertoire is mine. Valent Gramarye has a tradition to uphold. Is that true? Seen in this light, the trial was quite good for me, verdict or no. And you can't pay for that kind of publicity. The suspicion on you hasn't lifted entirely. After all, you received one of those letters too. You were just as obligated to follow Magnifi's instructions as your partner. So I was, but only Zach Gramarye followed them. Let us not speak any more of this who shot what. Now that my partner has vanished, the question is moot. I'm more interested in learning something else, actually. And what might that be? I wanted to know what Magnify had up his sleeve. How could he coerce you and your partner to kill him? The trick up his sleeve? Perhaps you do not know. Know what? A great magician never reveals his secrets. I didn't think it'd be that easy. The audience must remain forever in the audience, bathing in the reflected glow of the spotlight. We. I'm flying by the seat of my pants on this one. There must be a path leading from the evidence to the truth. And that's what I'm gonna find. To ask someone to take a life, even one not long for this world. That's asking someone to commit murder. Yes, our mentor was fond of dramatic moves and dramatic finales. And he got his wish. His life was taken. What weakness could be so powerful as to coerce someone into committing murder? My guess is it was a matter of life. Or death. Care to explain? Your troupe lived in a world of showmanship. The flashier, the better. And flashy so often means danger, doesn't it? Let us make this as painless as possible. If you have proof of this danger, then show it. Take that! Why, that's one of ours! Specifically designed for your show, I guess. A single bullet. One shot. What are you suggesting? We are magicians, Mr. Wright, not murderers. I'm not crying murder. I'm crying something far more tragic. An accident. Zack and Valent's quick draw showdown. How long has it been since those shots were last heard? Was the shoot-'em cancelled because of someone got hurt? Of course. What other reason could there be? Well, could have been cancelled because someone already was hurt. Fascinating. My Faustian forging friend? Or fiend? Faustian forging fiend! I think that's what I said. But tell me, can you prove? What can you prove with a single pistol? Well, tell me what would have happened if there had been an accident. What if one of your bullets took a life on stage? The performance of magic is not concerned with what-ifs. It is concerned with precision. Precisely whom do you claim we shot? Looks like I chose the right path. Let's just hope he walks it with me. A life was sacrificed so the show could go on. And this shows who it was. Take that! But that's Zach Grummery's wife. And Trucy's mother. Thalassa, I believe was her name. But how can you say this? How can you say she was struck by one of our bullets? Still in denial mode, huh? Thalassa was at the greatest risk of being shot. And this clearly shows how much danger she was in. True Grummery's performances were very, very popular. So popular, they even made a commemorative stamp at the height of their fame. We were not merely the latest craze, we were an age. A golden age. It's all here in this stamp. There's Thalassa, yes? Trucy's mother is missing, I hear. What happened to her? I don't know! Part of his memory's still locked up. There's one thing you're failing to address. What's that? As you say, our troupe was a world unto itself. If our leader Magnify was so inclined, he could hide anything he wished with ease. But, Mr. Wright, then he would have hid a crime, making him an accomplice. Not a great foundation for blackmail. He's got a point. If one of the troop members died in an accident, and he covered it up, his innocence would come into question. Found the right address, Mr. Wright? Oh, so close. There's gotta be something about how Thalassa's death could affect them. I see it in your eyes. You still have something to say. How can you possibly prove more than you already have? I'll prove why Thalassa's accidents tied your hands so completely. It's going to take a little knowledge of the players to crack this one. The accidental death of Zack's wife tied both your hands, and this information proves why Magnifi has so much power over you.
Take that!
It wasn't a question of who shot Thalassa. Thalassa herself was the problem. What do you mean? She was Zack Gremory's wife and Trucy's mother, and Magnifi Gremory's only daughter. It was a terrible accident, and the two of you killed your mentor's only daughter. If that wasn't the key to his power over you, I don't know what was. It was an accident! There was no proof. None at all! But Thalassa went missing, and your mentor blackmailed both of his disciples. It doesn't take a genius to put one and one together. Ours was a complex family. You mean Troop Gremory? The Master Magnifi Gremory, his only daughter, and his two disciples. That does sound like a recipe for disaster, doesn't it? Do not be tempted into faulty flights of fancy. Yes, there was an accident, but that's all it was. An accident. Zack and Balance tour de force. The guns blaze. The bullets fly straight forward, straight toward that beautiful body on stage. And then crash, zing, pow, into everything but her. Now that is magic. It happened one day when we were practicing. Same trick, with a new twist and tragedy. But as for whose bullets stole Thalassa's life, we shall never know that answer. Thalassa disappeared from our lives, and Zack was bereft of his wife. Trucy lost her mother, and Magnifi his daughter. And that led to blackmail, I take it. It is all part and parcel of the darkness that comes when the curtain falls. Why did he try to cover up the accident? It was his own daughter who died. All I can say is, it was a critical time for Troop Gremory. A passing of the torch from Magnifi to Zack and Valent. We all sacrificed on that so it might be a success. Thalassa's death was the greatest sacrifice of all. Yet, even when her life was extinguished, her presence was not. What do you mean? In time, we, myself and Zack, found we could no longer oppose Magnifi's wishes. He forced us to perform his art for his benefit. I see. I guess I can understand. I mean, he did just lose his only daughter. But do you not find cowardice in his actions? Huh? To decide to hide the truth of your own daughter's death is one thing. But then to hang the death as a guillotine above our heads? Things were dark behind the scenes, that's for sure. Does Trucy know? She was not told, naturally. Who would want to know that their father might have taken their mother's life? True. I had not thought of the accident for a very long time. I'm sorry to dredge up old memories, but this has helped a lot. Not to find Magnify's slayer, I should think. True. After that accident, there was one who came sniffing, quite persistently. A reporter? He called himself a newsman at the time. Often I spied him lurking around the dressing room, doing his research. Would you happen to remember his name? What was his name? Sorry, I have forgotten. But in that course of his interviewing, he became quite close to my partner, Zack. I liked him not. I see. His name? I do not recall, but his scent, the cloying aroma of mint. Whenever he smiled, which was far too often. I see. Thanks for your help. It does no good to interfere with the past, Mr. Wright. You will not uncover answers. Only wounds. I'm sorry. I begun to notice a dark curtain hanging over Troop Gramarye. And I began to realize what I had to do. I had to protect Trucy from that darkness. The reporter he mentioned. The newsman. I never learned who that was at the time. Well, got a pretty good idea who it is now. That smile and the sickly sweet smell of mint. The last flossed thin thread connecting Zack Gramarye to this world. Sooner or later, I'd have to track him down. Okay, the past is done. And it's present at Drew Studio, Bourse Club. Okay. Oh, damn. They've opened everything. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. They did open up a lot. Well, dang. That'll give me something to work through. So I'll stop it here. And I'll take a short break and get right back to it. You'll see me tomorrow. Thanks for watching.